The town of Ashton Falls was idyllic, a picturesque haven that seemed to be plucked straight out of a storybook. Nestled amidst rolling hills, it exuded a timeless charm that captivated anyone who visited. Life moved at a slower pace, allowing the residents to savor each moment, unhurried and content. Days were filled with warm greetings and friendly smiles, a testament to the close-knit community that thrived here. The gentle lull of nature was its only soundtrack, with the rustling leaves and chirping birds creating a serene symphony. But beneath the surface of tranquility, a darkness lingered, casting a shadow over the town's seemingly perfect facade. The townsfolk carried a secret, one that was whispered in hushed tones and hidden behind guarded expressions. It was buried deep within their hearts, a burden they all shared but rarely spoke of. A shared history steeped in guilt and fear bound them together in an unspoken pact of silence. Ashton Falls was not as peaceful as it seemed, for beneath its charming exterior lay a web of secrets waiting to be unraveled. The old house stood on the edge of town, isolated, shrouded in whispers. Its presence was a constant reminder of a bygone era, a time when the mansion was the pride of the town. It was a grand Victorian mansion, now decrepit and forlorn. The townsfolk avoided it, their hearts heavy with unspoken fears and old legends. Their eyes darted away, their steps quickened in its presence. Strange occurrences began subtly, almost imperceptibly at first, like a shadow passing in the corner of one's eye. A child's laughter echoed in the dead of night, chilling the bones of those who heard it. It was a sound that didn't belong, a haunting melody that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. Objects moved inexplicably in the old house. Chairs would be found in different rooms, books would fall off shelves, and mirrors would crack without reason. Doors creaked open and slammed shut with a force that seemed unnatural. The sounds echoed through the empty halls, a symphony of the supernatural. These were dismissed as tricks of the wind by the skeptical, but those who knew the house's history were not so easily convinced. But the townsfolk knew better. Fear took root, growing stronger with each passing day. The mansion's dark reputation spread like wildfire. It spread like a creeping vine, entwining itself around the hearts and minds of the people, suffocating their sense of safety. They whispered about a presence in the old house, a malevolent force that watched and waited. A vengeful spirit, they said, one that had been wronged in life and now sought retribution in death, one that refused to be ignored. Its presence was felt in every creak of the floorboards, every flicker of the candlelight, a constant reminder that the past was never truly gone. The truth was a shared burden. 20 years ago, a man was murdered in that house. Thomas Ashton, the town's founder. His death, a mystery. The townsfolk knew who did it. They chose to protect their own. Silence became their accomplice. Now the past was resurfacing. The whispers grew louder, the laughter more sinister. The townsfolk were haunted by their complicity. Fear was a constant companion. Section 4, Vengeance Unveiled. The supernatural force grew bolder. Windows shattered in the dead of night. Lights flickered, then died completely. Unexplained cold spots permeated the air. The townsfolk were prisoners in their own homes. One by one, they began to confess. Their whispers turned to screams. The guilt was unbearable, the fear paralyzing. The ghost of Thomas Ashton was seeking retribution. It wouldn't rest until justice was served. Section 5. The Reckoning. The old house became a beacon of terror. Its presence loomed over the town. The townsfolk, gripped by fear, sought a way to appease the vengeful spirit. They held a town meeting. Their faces were pale, etched with guilt and desperation. The air crackled with tension. Accusations flew. Secrets spilled forth. The truth, buried for so long, was laid bare. But the ghost was relentless. It demanded more than just confessions. It demanded accountability. Section 6. Specters of Truth. In a heart-stopping revelation, the ghost of Thomas Ashton materialized. The air grew cold, and an eerie silence fell over the town square as the spectral figure took form. The townsfolk, who had gathered in the square, watched in stunned silence, their breaths visible in the chilling air. It stood in the town square, its voice a chilling whisper. The ghost's words seemed to echo through the night, sending shivers down the spines of those who heard it. The whisper was not just a sound, it was a feeling, a cold dread that seeped into the bones. It pointed a spectral finger at the town's mayor. The mayor, a figure of authority and respect, now stood accused by a ghostly apparition. The crowd gasped, their eyes darting between the ghost and the mayor, who looked pale and shaken. His wife, the ghost revealed, was the true murderer. The revelation was like a thunderclap, shocking everyone present. The townspeople had always suspected foul play, but to hear it from the ghost of the victim himself was something entirely different. Driven by greed, she had silenced Thomas Ashton. The ghost recounted the events leading to his untimely death, painting a picture of betrayal and greed. The townsfolk listened, horrified, as the ghost detailed how his wife had plotted against him. The mayor, blinded by love, had helped cover it up. The ghost's voice grew colder as it spoke of the mayor's involvement. The mayor's love for the murderess had clouded his judgment, leading him to cover up the heinous crime. The town, bound by loyalty, had stayed silent. The ghost's words revealed a town complicit in its silence, a community that had chosen loyalty over justice. The weight of their collective guilt hung heavy in the air. The ghost of Thomas Ashton had finally revealed the truth. The spectral figure stood tall, its mission accomplished. The truth, long buried, was now out in the open for all to see. It had exacted its revenge. The ghost's presence was a testament to the power of truth and the lengths to which the dead would go to see justice served. The townspeople could feel the weight of the ghost's vengeance. The town of Ashton Falls was forever changed. The events of that night would be etched into the town's history, a haunting reminder of the consequences of betrayal and silence. The veil of tranquility had been lifted. The town, once peaceful and serene, now bore the scars of its dark past. The ghost's revelation had shattered the illusion of tranquility. It was a stark reminder that some secrets refuse to stay buried. The ghost's appearance served as a chilling reminder that the past has a way of resurfacing no matter how deeply it is buried, and that sometimes the dead will not rest until justice is served. The ghost of Thomas Ashton had found peace in revealing the truth, but the town of Ashton Falls would never be the same again.
Subscribe my channel 99.7%. Not subscribe, please subscribe my channel.